Jorge Gamebred Masvidal.
Ariane Celeste is here. Brittany Palmer, Brooklyn Wren also on hand. Gamebred is in the building. And these guys just flapping gums at each other any chance they get. The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo. One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see!
Oh my goodness!
Stiff as a board!
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Wow! Wow! Masvidal just made a statement.
And he has just turned in the fastest knockout in UFC.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Greg Farley, aka Pegasus from the Sports Comrade. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I'm here to break down Jorge Masvidal. The man is a monster. The man is a killer. In this fight against Darren Till, getting into his abilities, his boxing is superior. And his striking is superior, but we're going to start with his boxing. The way that he got out over his feet, I thought he actually had made a mistake until I understood that he was throwing a double cross, which is a technique that's been actually taught to me and refreshed with me. I remember watching this fight over in London and absolutely getting up out of my seat and going directly to the gym afterwards to train. That double cross that he threw against Darren Till was absolutely phenomenal how it landed. One of the most brutal knockouts that I can remember, especially how Darren Till's head hit the canvas. It was absolutely brutal. What was more brutal, again, Jorge is a monster. What was more brutal was what he did to Ben Askren, as you saw as the video opened. His tactics, his ability to diversify his striking, throw knees, throw elbows, as we'll get into a little bit later, but especially what he did to Ben Askren, being able to play him off, know that he was going to shoot for a double leg, put his head down like an idiot, like he always stated about Ben Askren. He walked Ben directly into the technique, and Jorge blasted Ben Askren in one of the most ridiculously fast and ridiculously brutal knockouts that I have ever seen. To field goal post somebody, to absolutely stop sign, run over somebody was one of the most savage, brutal things that I think that I've ever seen. And the trolling afterwards was, of course, hilarious. And then backstage, of course, we had 3-piece and a soda. Jorge is a genius with marketing. And what he did to Leon Edwards, obviously, you know, you don't have to be a super duper tough guy. Don't run up on people, folks. Let's just put that aside. Now, getting back into the diversity in his striking against Nate Diaz. A lot of people think Jorge is only hands. Yeah, sure. He's a devastating boxer, but he has everything, and he has the entire repertoire at his disposal. And what he did to Nate Diaz, punches, kicks, elbows, blows to the body, the kick on the way down, the punches on the way up. He was really putting it on Nate Diaz. Now, obviously, as the fight ended with a cut, Nate was starting to put it on him, and Jorge was starting to fade. I think that's one of his weaknesses, but we'll get into that later. But Jorge threw everything at Nate. Roundhouse kicks, front kicks, body shots, straight shots to the sternum, straight shots to the solar plexus, shin kicks, punches straight across. Everything was thrown, especially against Nate. Now, when we go to those body shots again, there you see it. That body shot to the organs, to the gut. Nate Diaz isn't one to just wince or get hit and hold himself. He really was feeling hurt by Jorge. And to see that fight get stopped by a doctor stoppage, it was frustrating. I know we were all frustrated, but I think we're going to see that fight eventually again. But it was a really, really good fight. I have to say that. Now, let's just let this run, man.
Here. Jorge, what is this like for you?
Some nice trophies. I like these. These are definitely going in some type of display case at the house. These will make it into the Trophy Hall of Fame.
The Trophy Hall of Fame, sick.
Yeah, not to brag, but yeah, I got a couple.
He's a big deal. You know, at this point in your career, to have a performance like this, I can't even take you serious. I love it. To have a performance like this where
I like it. Well, listen, I'm sure you know that after you today, we'll be speaking with Kamaru Usman.
Who?
UFC welterweight champion.
And what about the strategy?
strategy of the slow start, was that something you saw? I mean, I've been making a lot to that to the fans. Maybe I have it wrong, but I noticed you came out like, and you even took one step the opposite direction, and then you turned and beeline. I mean, am I right? Were you kind of trying to lull him to sleep?
That's 100% accurate. Ben's a sucker, man. You know, I knew just the way he wrestled, the way he fights. When I look at all of his fights, I go, man, he's an idiot the way he fights. You know, he's just, nobody's ever done things like this to him. You know.
Boom, roasted.
What happened in the third was just gonna keep happening in the fourth, and in the fifth. Haven't eaten either, so. I don't know. That's good pizza. Fuck yeah. So.
Just the way you wanted to start the fight. I mean, why was that the initial move?
He's so predictable, man. He's a scrub. But a part of me just wanted to throw it out there so he knew, like, if you do shoot like an idiot, like you only know how to, your head's gonna get clipped, and that would put the brakes on him, and then I'd beat him up for 14 minutes and 30 seconds and execute him. Or, you know, he took the bait. You know, I put my hands behind my back. He probably thought we were gonna fucking patty kick it up or something. I don't know, but he walked right into it, you know.
No, there's been a lot of talk about you potentially facing Conor McGregor. Besides all that surrounds a Conor McGregor fight, why does that matchup interest you, Jorge?
The money.
Just wondering, Jorge, you mentioned how the belt might go around town with you. Do you think...
I'm sorry. More pizza.
More pizza over here.
I'm running out of pizza. I'm about to walk out this motherfucking interview. More pizza, please. Hurry up, somebody.
I saw some criticism. People say the punches weren't really necessary. Maybe
They were super necessary.
Why were they necessary?
What do you mean, why were they not necessary?
Because he was already knocked out at that point.
But the referee hadn't pulled me off. And my job is to hit somebody till the referee pulls me off. So to those people, I would say maybe don't watch him and may go back to soccer.
You're a pretty calm guy, Jorge. When that whole thing happened with Diaz, it looked like he might not be in the card. Did you, for a second, think there was a possibility it wouldn't happen, or were you always confident?
Yeah, day one, I was like, it's going to happen. There's some type of weirdness going on. Then I thought maybe they screwed up somebody's lab test. Maybe this guy had too much CBD, and I don't know. You know, I started thinking they might pull the fight, the athletic commission, the anxiety hit. I had about 2 large pizzas, hot fries, soda, glass bottle, though, because I'm fancy. With the real sugar from Mexico, and I've said this already before, but my dad lives with me, so he got a hold of the cavalry. The cavalry came over, took credit cards away, restrained me, and I'm good though. I'm good on weight. I'm ready to go, you know. But yeah. Pretty damn good. This place never fails. Always consistent. Consistency here is amazing, and that is key.
F title around your waist as you get more pizza.
Please, thank you, kind sir. Round of applause for this gentleman. Who is this guy, man? Fucking great dude, just handing out pizza.
Again, Askren, the head buster.
He got the head buster with no longer with us clavicle. He got all types of shit. Then he got those punches to the face, you know, because I thought he was gonna get up.
You know, the champ, Kamaru Usman, is sitting not too far from us right now. What? Kamaru Usman.
And so, what did the police say to that?
Oh, they ain't tell me nothing, man.
They didn't tell you shit?
I didn't speak to no police.
That's amazing.
No police for me. No talking to police. Anyways.
You started to be up in the Spanglish immediately.
Yeah. No. We go on mute and no speak English. Huh? Okay? No speak English.
Yeah.
Not just a Robbie Lawler fight, his whole career. He's always like, his face is a magnet to crotches. And if you want to try to touch my crotch and you're a dude, there's a heavy toll to pay, man. There's a heavy toll. This crotch ain't for dudes.
So if I had to point out 1 or 2 weaknesses that I've seen, obviously I'd be remiss in not mentioning his background in street fighting. You saw he started with Kimbo. Anybody that's really followed fighting, you can't really miss it. You would have seen it. You would have seen Jorge coming from a long way away. But he definitely has a strong repertoire and just being able to flat out fight. I can get super duper technical, but you don't need to. Jorge can fight with some best of them. But against Wonder Boy, some of his weaknesses were showing. He sometimes is a little bit slow to the punch, and that's what got him caught against Wonder Boy. You cannot be slow and you cannot think too much standing in such an elite striker's face. And obviously Wonder Boy, he's my favorite fighter with him and Conor, but you cannot play around in Steven's face. He moves too quickly. He's too quick to hit you and get back out of range. He's too good with his feet. He's too hard to track down. And if you're thinking instead of reacting and being able to cut him off at the pass, you're just not going to be able to do anything. And sometimes Jorge gets caught standing and staring, which is why a lot of his split decision losses occurred. That's why Jorge's record is what it is. Yes, he's an elite striker, and he's a devastating martial artist and a devastating knockout artist when he stops thinking. So if he had one weakness, I would boil it down to that sometimes he stands around and thinks too much. And against the wrong fighter, that is not a good thing. Obviously, he's had a few submission losses, but that's that. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Once again, make sure you subscribe for your boy, and I'll see y'all next time. I'm out. Work harder, comrades.